Now, I want to answer you, what do you think is my budget for the whole build? Actually, to be honest with all of you, my budget is day 26 of my budget bungalow build. And so you can see I was early out because you know what happened already. It's the porridge day. So I'd like to address some of the emails I have received. I have like half a dozen emails from foreigners saying how they thank me for all the videos I've shown about the building, but saying how it helped them having insights of how to build a house in the Philippines, and it's giving them ideas. And what I want to address is my channel, since it's locked down, I can't go out and start filming my pricing videos, which I like doing because my channel, although it's not getting a lot of views, like if I have to do other type of videos like charities or any of those popular videos, I'd like my channel to be helping the foreigners coming to the Philippines. The reason why I speak English and I don't speak our language, I want it easier for the foreign people and to show that the Filipinos can speak English, no problem. And so that is the premise of my channel, is to help show the Philippines to other countries in a nice way, not in a begging way, not in selling something physically, but I wanted to help them guide what's true in the Philippines. Now, like yesterday, I leave it that I will discuss a question about what advice can I give foreigners when they want to build here in the future with their Filipina spouses or Filipino spouses. What I want you to do, number one, is take the back seat when you're leaving. I want to build something here. If you're in the Philippines, make sure that the Filipino take the lead. For example, if you are searching for pricing, canvassing for this, take the Filipino with you, but go on the back. Let her do the haggling. Let her do checking the pricing. Because that's, in a way, you will get a better price. Most foreigners is already living here, already as aware that when it's a foreigner asking the price, it's different than a Filipino who is asking the price. When they sent over their wife by themselves to ask the price, it's different. So here I am now, day 26 of my budget bungalow build. So what they're doing is making all the beams ahead. So you can see here, Predo and Old Lito is doing the beam upway, so they're just gonna carry it over to the specific area that it's intended. And the Loy and Old Tony is doing the forms. So they're tying up the beams column, the header beams. So they're just gonna put it over where it's intended to, and then just take out the one with the column. Unsaon pag-insert sa column? Kuha nang kuan sa column? Tay? Ibutang siya ba niya na may column sa tunga? Ha? Huh? So you can see they have shaped the rebar to a column shape for the header beams. So all they want to do now is just to lift it up, untie some of the rings of the columns that's standing there, but not all of them have some columns like that one there. They will lock it in and then they will just tie it up. So I know I'm gonna have to buy more tire wires and more 8 mm. So they have made 4 columns, 4 beams ready. And I think I'm gonna need more of the 8 mm tire wire and 10 mm for the septic tank. So this is what the others are doing. Old Man Tony and the Loy is on the forms that we're gonna be putting on this side, so we can pour it this afternoon. And at the same, because that's already been precisely tied in, everything's tied up now. The columns and the lintel beams is already tied in, so this side here is already ready. So this is day 26. Hopefully by this afternoon we will be able to pour this front side that you see, and that will be a good job to finish today. And then next day they will, after that they'll be putting on the preform header beams, lift it up there, and it's all ready, so it'll be faster, not just shape it up there, which takes Old Man Tony a whole day to shape all of this by there. So they're thinking of remaking it ahead and then just slip it up. We'll be making it faster. They might get 2 or 3. So like this one here, the Loy is already lifting it herself, but 4 of them can do it. So that's what they're gonna do. But all the block work inside, except for the toilet, is done. And here we are here now. So this afternoon you'll be seeing some of the beams put up. I know for both sides of the, from here, from the ready one, will be put in, so they can close it in. So they're lifting up the preform beam now. Saki.
Suod dito pre. Suod sa gawas. Hindi may paghihok ito. Pidya sa nimo.
So that's how they plan to do that. So it's there ready, and then Old Tony will just have to tie it up tight.
Okay na lagi start ang dating. Ito di kabilya daw. Hindi sa mabira-bira kini ang nindawin. Sino mo ito? Na. Iya, tama kay pangunan ang kuan. Isang ring. Boy, dili oy. Ipasuod pa na sa silaw.
Atras.
Tama ikaw, dili masuod ko. Pasuod na silaw. Atras na mo dili. Sige, atras niya. Atras gamay. Sige, atras. Dong di matras dito. Mo le siya. Di mo dia masapod. Kuno mo to kudaan kanida. Masapod ni ani.
Di ko asa iisa sa Fred. Iisa sa Fred. Fredo, iisa para matag ato sa babaw atras.
Aro ba ibutang lang karon ka tipido kay mo.
Oh, ana. Atras. Oh.
Usa ka ligi kana. Kana usa ka ligi. Isa teknik. Ang sabi niya wa sa kadit kay magpiso mo kung.
So they're adjusting it. So this end here will go through first.
Sige. Oh. Kana so dali ha. Oh,
tama. Oh.
Oh, dire lang liwa. Mana?
Nauna na.
Duman ka na. Sige, pagkabayo na dia. Kay gaib na diha. Sige na di na muling ko dire, kay dili mo muling ko dire. Ang kani bawa maso dire. Kahit ra ni. Angan. Oh.
Sudoy.
Amali higot na diha.
Ihigot ra na siya.
Lambing na. Ah, sige. Sige buhatan na sa il diha. Oh. Wato ko. Kamula naglibro sa inyo, wato. Ha, andiri mo masud. Hay. Sige, ibangon mo. Ano usaw no? Nag-dumpling mo ni. Ay, libre naman ta. Ay, ito tayo sa harap dito.
So they find that easier to do this than just shape the whole thing there. And it's taking so long for old Tony to shape it by himself. So the pre-form ones is what they prefer. And they'll be doing the other side after lunch. There. So all the vertical beams are getting inside like it is supposed to be. So going back to my what I've said, that the purpose and the premise of my channel is to give information to foreigners especially, and if you do build here in the Philippines, make sure that your Filipino spouse is the one taking the lead. You should take the back seat. Like you can see some of the Filipinas are drifting in jewelries, blonde hair, all the works because they're married to a foreigner. You should also dress down. Not like you go down, haggle labor pricing or any pricing, you're dripping in jewelry with a foreigner in tow. You should expect that the prices will be different. So if you do canvas pricing around, make sure that you also dress down. Like I won't even think for a minute to drive down in a motorbike, dress down, and next day I'll be having dinner with the mayor. That's how you play what's needed, because if you are thinking of building it with costs, or if you don't mind the cost, then don't bother to haggle. But if you do, being conscious about what budget you can put into your building work, you need to play the proper rule. You need to haggle the price like we Filipinos do. And number one, let the Filipino take the lead. Not in a sense that she'll be telling you stupid things that don't render the house like, that's different. If you want a proper build, take the lead. I mean, you as a foreigner will do the design, do it how you want it. All she has to do is haggle the price, source the materials, and haggle with the labor. So that one is already been installed and only needs tying up now so they can board up for the forms on this side. I told them to take out the two end rings for their borders, for their preform bars, so it can easily slot into the top. So that's what Fred is doing now, taking out the two last rings on both ends. And this one's be adjusted, taking out two last ends, because that will be the one that's gonna meet the end of the column. You're gonna have to also participate even though you're not the one working, because sometimes you do need the common sense. Sometimes they're not thinking much. I'm going back now for my second check of my budget bungalow build. We are now on day 26. I would like to give a shout out to a foreigner Filipino journey to the Philippines. Thank you so much for watching my channel. And also, I had to smile when you say, sorry, my name's Patrick in your comments, because it's not really your fault that your name's Patrick. Also, a shout out to Nevermind. Once a shout out, Nevermind. Jeff Williams, don't worry, I'm not in the hot seat. I already sorted that. To Ray Hill, thank you so much for watching. And also, Miss Nyana Yoshikawa, thank you so much for constantly supporting my channel, ma'am. And also, I'd like to give a shout out to Ant and his girlfriend from Mandawi City. Ant, how's deck? And also, Andrew Felton. Thank you so much for watching. And also, the one I could advise you is, when you build your house in the Philippines, make sure you make the Filipino spouse take the lead, so the prices won't increase. Take the lead, do the haggling, and do the canvassing of prices. And now on my day 26. I hope they have poured the beam, the first header beam that I'll be looking at the last stage. So like last stage from the front towards the back. So that will be the end, and then the roof. So I hope they do, but I'm not expecting it. I'm just expecting it to be ready to be poured, and they can pour it next day. So I'm here now on the site to see the progress for the afternoon. Day 26. And so what they managed to do is making the form so we can pour the first header beam tomorrow. So they're making the forms. They've used new plywood, I think. I'll have to count it later, but I just want to show you what they've done and also lay this out here. And also, they have already free-formed the rest of the header beams. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4. Preformed. So I will just count the one that's already put up in the house, not this one. I'll just count this tomorrow when we use it, because that's how I price you when we use it, even though I advancedly bought the materials 2 weeks ahead, 3 weeks ahead. So this is what we are now. They're still using some of the scaffold wood that I used to buy. I bought for the first day, so it's already been counted on. It's only the plywood that they have additional usage, which is, and what I've noticed, it's only one piece of plywood today, because there's 4 left in there. It's only 3 that I see. So day 25, the expenses and labor, the materials and labor yesterday was total to 3,917. Today, with the running total for day 25 was 126,241. Now, I want to answer you, what do you think is my budget for the whole build? Actually, to be honest with all of you, my budget is 180,000. Yep, I believe I could finish this for 180. And always, when I have projects, house building, I always have contingency fund of 20 grand, 20,000 pesos. So it's very rare, only once in my several house projects, that I even eat to my contingency fund. So I could tell the old bastard that I got the contingency fund, I could buy a new bag and shoes. But yeah, it is very rare they eat into the contingency fund. So here I could see that they have used 4 whole rebars connecting to those there. 4 whole rebars, because this is 6 meter side in here. So you can see, because when in the afternoon we got this dark footage, I want to catch the light so you can see properly what I'm trying to show you. Yeah, that's the whole 4 rebars that they have used today, with 2 pieces of 8 mm, 4 whole rebars of 10 mm, then a piece of plywood to make the forms. The wood is already been counted for, because that was the scaffold that we have used before, and 1 kilo of tire wire. So that one, because they're tying it up, and then the one that they used to tie up the beam, header beam. So that's what we are. Like I said, they are not fast when it's precision work, but I want the precision work to be done properly, measurement, attaching, and all that. I know it's not a result that visual, but when it's precision work, it needs to be done properly, so there won't be no back job. So I'd like to announce also a few of the foreigners, not only a foreigner Filipino journey in the Philippines is asking my email address if you want any infos or assistance, that I will try to help answer your emails as much as I can. My email address is villagepeoplephilippines@gmail.com, all in small letters, no spacing. Again, my email address is villagepeoplephilippines@gmail.com. So anyone, especially the foreigners, if you need any assistance, I'd like to, as much as I can, will try to help you with your dilemmas about the Philippines, information about the Philippines, because the real purpose of my channel is to give an information that is based legally, the way the Filipinos knows it, because I know there's a lot of misinformation that's been spread about, especially from foreigners. So day 25 was 126,241. So this is how it looks like, or what they have put in as forms. So they added additional 1 more plywood, but we also kept the one that we have used before when we were pouring half of the column that you have seen there. So we just added additional just for the beams up there, that we will be reusing them as we transferred on towards the back, towards the end. So we will try to pour all of this for this week. So next week we will be showing you the roofing that we're gonna do. And also I'd like to remind you that this is a low budget bungalow. I'll soon be making other houses, but which I call, my next project will be a middle budget house. So I might be able to show you the approved plans for my next project in the near future, because I already got the approved plans. So this will be, I think, for a half day tomorrow. This will be done, and the Loy can pour it in the afternoon, while the rest of the guys will be doing the rest of the beams. But we will be pouring this as much as we can, that we can reuse everything. The lorry it will continue to dig the septic tank area because there is no mixing that they have to do unless they finish the forms of the beam. Then he can stop this digging and pour the beams himself with the help of old Lito. Well, Fredo and old Tony will be continually do the beams, set the beams and set the forms. So this is the septic tank area on the back of the budget bungalow, in which the corner of this one will be the toilet area. So that's another technique, is to make sure that your materials that you're using will be reused. Like the scaffold will not disappear. That's why you need to check it, because if you don't, I've experienced some filterage before when I started, and I know how to watch it now. Everything that I have to put in the build site, I count it, and they all know that I'm counting it, so to avoid filterage. But I could feel this is a different kind of builders here, because I'm not only just saying about the saving, they are saying it to me, so I know it's different. Whereas my experience with other builders before, you'll be the one telling them to reuse. But these builders that I have right now, something only light. But these builders that I have right now is the one guiding me to how to save. So because I'm a woman, it's not common here in the Philippines for a woman to be the project manager of a build. It's rare. So like I said, my experience comes from research, studying it on books, and after a few houses like Fralins and friends asked me, then my experience coming from those few houses that I've already built. So that's why I had different kind of grade when I build my houses. You got the low cost budget, middle budget houses, and the high budget, which is my castle with no limit. So next on the beam will be the roofing, because we will be buying the wood, because I'll be using wooden trusses. Because like I said, remember, this is a low cost budget bungalow. So I'm already talking to one window installer, and for the 7 windows that this house have, he's pricing me at 60 for just jalousies, the ordinary jalousies. He's pricing me at 16,500. And I said that's expensive, so I have another person now coming over maybe tomorrow, because I have talked to the owner of that firm. So someone will be coming over to measure it up again and give me another price, because like I said, to have 2 or 3 firms before you commit, because that's how you can compare pricing. And if I'm going on a budget, that's how I operate. I have 2 or 3 firms, 3 or 2 places to give me the pricing. That even before I started the layout and everything, I already have canvas materials or 2 or 3 hardwares before I start. And now I know the windows will still be far away. Like I said, I've already prepared for the materials to a week or 2, maximum is 2 weeks materials ahead. So your work will not be delayed, and the builders as well knows what they're gonna do next. There will be no vacancy on their mind, because I already told them what they're gonna do next a week before. so they know what they're gonna do next week, and next week, and next week. Every time I give them the wages, and they already know what's next. So that's how you also utilize everything that you pay for, because I know you'll be paying their wages, and if they're not laying around, don't know what to do, it's your fault. So that's how I organize I organize the workload every week, and the materials is ahead 2 weeks ahead. So now I'm negotiating the windows, and then after all the beams, because I know the beams will be poured this week. I know because they told me they will, and I said I'm expecting. So I know that will be poured all next week. So we'll be doing all the roofing next week. So I have the few wood. I will be using wooden trusses. Like I said, I have already had the mulabe, a few mulabe around. Then I'll just be adding some of it. So we're done. 5 minutes to 5, but we're already done. So there's 1 plywood, 4 whole rebars, 1 kilo of tire wire that was used for today, and 2 pieces of 8 mm rebars. That 4 rebars was 10 mm rebars that was used.
Niray. Niray, ma'am.
Sama.